But it's still so clear. So sit back, relax, and just let us lead you. If you're trolling for the reason, then we don't need you. It's Big XL, he can't be stopped. Riding dirty forever, the home of real hip hop. Ride dirty, tell me y'all can't harm. I still live and fly in the sky with a song. Ride dirty, ride dirty, ride dirty, ride dirty. Ride dirty, tell me y'all can't harm. I still live and fly in the sky with a song. Ride dirty.
What up, world? Happy holidays. It's your boy, Vic Excel. This is the Ride and Dirty Show, where we bridge the gap between hip-hop and everyday life, man. I want to say just God bless and one time to everybody. Christmas is almost upon us for all those who celebrate, and hopefully you guys will get an opportunity to spend some amazing quality time with your loved ones, all right? Today is Sunday, December the 20th. You got 5 days before the day. 5 days before the day. But you know what? We're going to get right into it because you know I love to talk. I love to run my mouth. And I love talking to the people that are movers and shakers in this business. Before I bring on our guests, I want to say one time for the good people over at live365.com. We've partnered up with live365.com and we've launched our very own media-based tracking internet radio station. All right, the name of our station is Ride 95. So all my DJs out there, we got some great original programming. But for all my DJs out there, if you're interested in having your own mix show, make sure you hit me up at bigvicxl@gmail.com or ride95songsubs@gmail.com. All right? All right, make sure y'all check us out 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. All right? Now, one time for the good people over at Liquor Lollipops. You know they're our official sponsor. Liquor Lollipops is an independently owned premium hard candy company with candy that's designed to taste like your favorite alcoholic beverage. They have over 15 flavors. Make sure you visit them at liquorlollipops.com and find out how you can bring Liquor Lollipops to your very next party or become a brand ambassador. All right. We're going to get right to it. I'm going to keep the short shit short tonight, and I'm going to bring our guests right on. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, y'all know how we do right here on the Ride and Dirty Show. Welcome, lifestyle engineer, Mr. Aubrey Banks. What's going on, my G?
What's going on, my guy?
Man, trying to maintain and really just enjoy this holiday season, even though we're still amongst this pandemic. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm the same, man. I literally just deboarded a plane from Cancun, feeling refreshed and revived. I'm back in LA. And yeah, so I'm sitting in the corner right now doing this interview because I literally just jumped off the plane.
All right, the first thing I got to ask you is, especially us being in the middle of the pandemic, what was traveling like to Cancun?
You know, the traveling was pretty good. I just noticed that a lot of people are traveling right now. I think a lot of people are trying to get out of the country. So my advice to anybody is just definitely get there earlier. Don't be late. But they're in Cancun, they're very sanitary. They make you sanitize your shoes before you enter each building. It was amazing. It was an amazing experience. I actually didn't want to leave. So I don't know about any other destination, but Cancun is very, very safe.
Are they practicing social distancing and encouraging people to wear face masks in Cancun?
Yeah, not only encouraging, but also enforcing. You have to have on a face mask. You definitely got to practice, do social distancing. Every restaurant that I went to, they're only seating people at one in every 6 table. So that's way more than 6 feet. It's probably about 10 feet or more. So, yeah, everybody's practicing social distancing. And the resort that I was at was so large, man, I barely seen 20 people the whole time I was there. So it was a great experience for sure.
All right, no doubt. All right, man, it's always great to give yourself some me time. All right, so look, let's get into the life. Let's get into the life of Mr. Aubrey Banks. The first thing I want you to let the people know is where you're from, and then let us know what a lifestyle engineer is.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm from Adel, Georgia. very south, 20 minutes from the Florida line. The closest place to it is Valdosta, Georgia. Some people may know that. I've been a resident of Atlanta, Georgia for about 16 years, and now I'm in LA as of this year. So I'm a little bi-coastal right now. And my life and my career has been very different from the majority of the people that I know. I've been an entrepreneur since the age of 17. I opened up a clothing store and been self-employed and owned companies, successful companies since that time. I have a music company called Music Head. I have a lifestyle brand called The Tailor Firm, which also do interior design. So there's a lot of things that I do. And the title, the lifestyle engineer, came from me literally just working with a lot of talented people, whether it be professional athletes, celebrities, entertainers, socialites, even family and friends, and giving them intuitism that they were able to enhance their lives with. And that's how Lifestyle Engineer came. It came across because I was working with some of them, and I was just giving some of them information, whether it be stock tips, whether it be information on buy a house, just using all the information and the intuitism that I had to give them some tutelage.
All right, now coming from, you said Adel, Georgia. Coming from an area like Adel, Georgia, what brought your talents to Atlanta? And how did you even realize that you had talents to basically be a Renaissance man?
Well, that's the thing. I didn't realize I had talent. I just knew that I had the drive and ambition. For me, where I came from, the biggest thing you could accomplish was graduating high school. And for me, that wasn't enough. I didn't see anybody around me that I could look up to and I could have as a mentor that was doing something really great. So I knew that I had to spread my wings and go somewhere else with people that were really thriving and that looked like me. I had visited Atlanta while I was in high school, and I just seen a lot of people that looked like me that were thriving and happy and doing well. Seemed like where I was from, everybody was mad all the time. It was really weird. So for me, that's why I moved there. I moved there and I kind of just reestablished myself and learned new things about myself and grew while I was there. So that it wasn't necessarily that I knew I had the skill set. I just knew I had the ambition.
All right, now, you said you opened a business at 17. What type of business was that, and how hard was it for a 17-year-old to craft their own business?
I'm not going to say it wasn't hard because it was difficult, but it wasn't too difficult. I can say it was possible within means. I opened a clothing store. It was called Remix Clothing Boutique. It was with a business partner of mine, actually my god brother. And he was the first person to believe in me, and he invested a large amount into the company. I invested a large amount also. We kind of went in it together. With me being 17, not knowing anything about business, not knowing anything about how to run and operate a business, how to have employees, I went into this thing full throttle, straight out of high school, straight from working from Popeyes, and just believed in myself and invested in myself. And with that, it proved to be a very good option because I ended up being very successful in that line of business. And from the clothing store, I ended up being a celebrity stylist. And from that, I ended up being in the music industry on a production company.
All right. How well did the business do, and how long was it in existence?
It was in existence for 5 years. I ended up moving it to Atlanta for about 2 years. It did really well, considering all the things and all the obstacles that I went through, not knowing anything about business or sales, et cetera. It did really well. I just knew that it wasn't that my cap. I knew that I wanted to soar higher. So as I was going through it and I seen what I was able to do, I seen other people doing way better, doing less work. I was literally hustling, 80 hours a week sometimes, maybe more. And so for me, I just thought that I could do better in business as far as being able to monetize my craft and not have to put in so much work. So that's why I moved to Atlanta and kind of tried to get into other avenues, including styling. I would go style a celebrity and make the same amount in one day that I would make in 2 weeks working in my store. So I just kind of understood the premise of monetization and increase, and I always just let that lead me and I followed that.
Okay. Now, you have a company called Music Heads. Let's talk about your introduction into the music business and what led to Music Heads.
Okay. I work with a lot of entertainers in regards to styling them, wardrobe styling them. I saw a lot of them really prospering and making way more money than me. I felt like I had the same ambition, if not more, and some sort of talent. I wasn't musically inclined, but I knew that there were some things that I could do to kind of gross me what they were grossing. I styled a celebrity. I won't mention their name, but I styled a celebrity one day for a music video, and they ended up going that evening to a strip club, and they spent 60 bands in a strip club. And I was like, wait, if they can spend 60 bands in one night, how much did they make? And I seen what I was making. I was like, okay, I need to get into the business that they're in. So I asked a friend of mine, and they said, well, if you're not musically inclined and you want to get in the music industry, the key is you need to sign people that are. So that's what I started to do. I started to sign people that were talented in music, and I handled the business portion, and it was a dream. It was perfect.
All right. At this point in your career, like, who are some of the artists you've had opportunity to sign to music heads?
Well, I don't sign artists. I actually sign producers. So that's the unique thing about my company. It's a production company. So we do production, film scores, basically make the beats for the artist. So I don't sign any artists. Although I've worked with many artists. I worked at as an A&R for Interscope and Cash Money. So anybody you can name, I've worked with: Rick Ross, Jay-Z, Nicki Minaj, Fetty Wap, Chris Brown, Miley Cyrus. The list goes on that I've worked with, but I've never signed an artist to my label, only producers.
All right, now, I've often heard that it was actually easier to work with producers than working with artists. How do you feel about that statement?
I agree. I think that statement is dead on. It's easy to work with producers. They literally just need to send you the beats, and you can send the beats off to artists. You don't even, in this day and age, have to be in the studio at all. You can do all your work from your cell phone. And it was an easier transition because I knew new producers, so that worked well for me. And just over the years, I've seen that your ability to be able to monetize production. Artists, they have a more difficult time having longevity. Producers, they can work forever. As long as they can make beats, they can work forever. They can reinvent themselves easier than artists. So I prefer to work with producers over artists.
All right, now, with all that under your belt, like, how long would you say you've actually been in the music business?
Oh, 16 years. Okay. I sold my first beat on MySpace, and I was at 18 or 19 years old. So I've been in the music business for a very long time. I've had my company established for 12 years, but I was working in the business well before I even had my company.
All right, I got to ask, and one time for MySpace. How much did you sell that beat on MySpace for?
$50. $50, man. It's crazy story. But I was super excited when it took the whole team out for dinner that, and I never forget it because I really didn't know what I was doing. And that was the social media maven of that time. And everybody, I don't know if you remember, but on MySpace, everybody had a music page. And so I said, this would be a great platform to sell beats because everybody loves music on MySpace. And so, yeah, I reached out to some people on MySpace. That was the beginning of me understanding how digital space worked and that you can reach anybody. You can reach Oprah. You can reach Obama. You can reach anybody in the world because everybody has an email address. MySpace taught me that.
All right. And you took the whole team out with that $50. Where the hell did y'all go eat?
No, I spent more than 50. You know, I'm one of those people that are. I'm a little bit oblivious. I didn't treat them like I should have treated them. I should have spent only 50, but I don't even know how much I spent, but I'm sure it was more than 50. 100% sure it was more than 50. I always like to reward people, even if the work isn't finished yet, because I feel like why work if you're not going to be able to reap the benefits?
I agree. I definitely agree. I agree. All right. At this point in the business, being an entrepreneur and having a music company, what do you feel like the most valuable lessons you've learned?
One of the most valuable lessons that I've learned in business in general is don't take it personal. You can't take things personal. Some people don't have the same spirit as you, and some people don't have the same intentions as you. So you got to go into every situation with your best interest in mind and not someone else's. And that doesn't mean you got to go and do things dirty and do things underhanded. You can still be a solid individual, but just going into any atmosphere, you should always put yourself first. And I think if you do that and don't take things personally, then you will see yourself thrive way more. What I've seen is a lot of people that have messed up their career or have downgraded their career in certain ways. It was because they were emotional. They wasn't able to separate the personal from the business, and they took things too personal. For me, I don't even have to like you, but I can do business with you. That has no reference on me doing business with you. And I think that is one of the key components for me being successful because I can really do business with anybody. If the deal makes sense, let's do it.
Okay. Now, being at it for so long, what do you feel like has been your biggest letdown or biggest failure up until this point?
People, if I'm honest, man, people. I've invested half of my net worth into people because I know a lot of talented individuals. I know a lot of people in this world that I feel like are capable of changing the world, but they usually stand in their own way. So if I had to do anything differently, I would take more of that time, energy, and money and invest it in myself. I don't regret anything that I've done. They've all been lessons learned. But my biggest letdown has definitely been people because I've given a lot to the human race in general and to people and to strangers, and haven't got a lot in return for that. So I think if I invest in myself a little bit more, the same thing that I teach to others, if I would have done that at the beginning, that I would have soared way higher.
All right. You have a concierge service for celebrity athletes. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so that's my company called 1985. I just actually changed the name to Success Society Sports Club. I have a partner with that as well. His name is Malik. And it's just a branding atmosphere that I wanted to open for celebrities and athletes, mostly athletes, professional athletes, whether it be boxers, NFL, NBA, et cetera, because they don't really have a lot of support like entertainers. Me being around entertainers, they're spoiled. Rappers, singers, et cetera, they're spoiled. They have a multitude of managers. They have direct PR. They have, labels. They have additional crew people that help them out. Athletes don't have that. They literally just have a manager. They have a finance advisor and an agent. A lot of those times they're cookie cutter type of relationships. So they do their job and that's it. I wanted to create something because I have a lot of friends that are professional athletes that was a segue between them and opening their eyes to other things, whether it be business ventures, investing, starting capital companies, brand ambassadorships, et cetera. And it's been working good so far.
All right. Now, when you talk about athletes, what sport do you feel like draws, I guess, even the least amount of attention or has the smallest entourage?
Ooh, good question. Soccer, probably. Soccer players usually don't have entourages. I don't know a lot of soccer players, but the ones that I do never have an entourage. Very low-key, regular people. They leave practice and go home, and they may drive a Prius. So I would say soccer for sure. The next after soccer, probably boxing.
Boxing, really? I would.
Yeah, I mean, we in the urban.
See, I would think baseball.
I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Well, I would say, maybe baseball as well. The reason I said boxing is because boxing has become a celebrity sport. And what I mean by that is we look at boxing because it is a celebrity. It's a celebrity-filled environment. It's the intrigue. It's the luxury. It's the things outside of just boxing. Even in Cancun yesterday, I was in Cancun again yesterday, and there was a boxing match on, and they were quiet. No one yelled. No one screamed. No one clapped. It's a total different way of watching boxing. And I looked at that opposed to how Americans do it. We literally, I think, celebrate the culture of celebrity. I don't think we celebrate the culture of boxing. So that's why I said that.
I agree. Now, being someone who has styled the stars, do you consider yourself a good dresser?
Yeah, I would consider myself the best dresser.
Okay. When it comes to dressing, what are two fashion no-nos for men and two fashion no-nos for women in your personal opinion?
Two fashion no-nos for men and two fashion no-nos for women. Interesting. I think the first fashion no-no that applies to women and men is don't buy things that you like. Buy things that look good on you. I think a lot of people, especially, once they hire a stylist, they want to tell the stylist what they like. And I understand that we all have likes, but that doesn't necessarily mean it would look good on you. For me, what I've learned just as being a celebrity stylist is I go and I buy things that I think that I get the most compliments on, that people like and that look good on my body. I don't necessarily have to like it, but if I get 5 compliments, I love it. It changes my perspective. I would say that's number one. Number two, for men specifically, I think that it's a good idea to not always have sports gear. You want to mix your catalog of clothing. I think a lot of us men, we just want to be comfortable. We're not trying to be the most fashion forward. So we buy a lot of sports gear, a lot of Jordans, a lot of athletic gear, and that's not necessarily dressing. Now, if you mix, a pair of sweatpants with a nice button down, then you can create your own little avenue there. I do it all the time. I actually have that on right now. So I think, just mixing it up, not just doing a lot of athletic gear. For women, I think just lack of confidence. That's a big no-no. You got to be confident. A woman can wear anything and be beautiful. She can put on a robe and walk out. If she's confident, it's going to look beautiful on her.
Okay, hold on. I got to stop you, Aubrey. I got to stop you. You mean to tell me that you can rock a nice button down with some joggers?
Man, I got on a white button down right now with some joggers and some dope. Of course, my sneakers are dope. I got some dope Gucci sneakers, but I've gotten 2 compliments and I haven't even left out of the airport yet.
Okay.
So you could definitely rock that. It's all about personal style. One biggest fapu in dressing and in fashion in general is don't follow the trends. Mix trends. A lot of people want to follow the trends. They want to look at a mannequin and dress just like that mannequin. It's very cliche and it's almost embarrassing because, in my opinion, it shows no personal style. Anybody can go and say, give me that off the mannequin and look good. I think increasing personal style is one of the biggest things people should know. But I think out of anybody, our community for sure is the best dress because we have the most style and the most flavor.
All right. Do you think there's an age limit on dressing nice? Do you think gentlemen in their 50s and 60s should still try to have style?
I think you should have style down to your wheelchair. I don't think style should go away. I think it's just something should be embedded in your DNA. So I don't think there's an age limit on style. I actually think style should get better with age because you're more refined and you're more confident and you're more mature.
Okay, no doubt, no doubt. All right, Aubrey, 2 more things I want to ask you and I'm going to let you go. Number one, I was doing my research on you and I was on your Instagram and you had a post and it said something very intriguing to me. And I said, I got to ask him about it. And you basically said that you were caught between being proud of you said you were stuck between being proud of yourself and I got to go harder. Please describe that feeling.
Yeah, man. I've been working since I was able to work. I lied on my application to even get a job. I started working at 15. And not because I needed the money, but because I wanted the money. I wanted my own freedom and my responsibility. I thrived for it. I fiended for it. That was really what I wanted. And I've been working my entire career, and I've had a lot of ups and a lot of downs throughout, a lot of challenges and things that I had to learn. And a lot of times I never had help. I've asked people for help. I've asked people for mentorship. And it just seems like I always turn into the leader or the mentor, and not by choice, mostly by force. So for me, what I mean by that is I know that I'm not at my pinnacle. I know that I have so much more room to grow. That's why I consistently challenge myself and try to open new businesses and try to come up with new ideas and creativity and working, et cetera, because I know that I can do better. I know that I'm not at the top yet. And the top is relative and subjective. It doesn't mean that I have to have $1 billion or everyone has to know me. It just means for me, I think I'll know when I've reached my pinnacle, and I know that I have not reached that yet. So, I'm very proud of myself. I never get a chance to tell myself that, and I don't really hear it from a lot of other people, but that's fine. I know that I just got to keep working, but accomplishing all the things that I've accomplished, coming from where I come from, being raised by a single mother, I feel like I have definitely did leaps and bounds over what I was expected to do.
All right. I had 2 questions now. I got one more I got to stick in there. To you.
Okay.
To you, would you rather a person say, Aubrey, I love you? Or would you rather a person say, Aubrey, I'm proud of you?
I would rather a person say, Aubrey, I'm proud of you. I think love should be shown and not said. That's the way I look at it. I don't want to hear you love me. I want to feel that you love me. I can hear that you're proud of me, but I want to feel that you love me. I don't need you to tell me that.
Okay. All right. Last thing. Let's talk a little bit about your upcoming masterclass.
Okay. So as I just said, I'm always reestablishing myself and rebranding myself. So my upcoming masterclasses came to me because I am a maven for a lot of people. A lot of people come to me for advice and intuitism and all of those things. And for me, I look at it like, I feel like I can help a whole lot of more people if I turn this into something bigger and grander. So my masterclasses are going to encompass YouTube videos, actually literature for people to be able to reach out to me in regards to branding themselves, starting a business. We're going to teach people how to do LLCs, how to format LLCs, the correct way to do it, the correct way to file your taxes, the correct way to do investing if you want to invest in stocks. I even want to open up a investment firm for a lot of minorities to be able to come together and buy things together and own them as a group. So just really, really big things that I plan on doing starting January 2021. But a lot of people have asked me about it and wanted me to teach them in a grander way outside of just giving them nice quotes on Instagram and, every now and then an email. So that's how the Masterclasses came about. I just wanted to be able to teach the masses and not just reach a couple people.
All right, so will you be doing this on YouTube, or will you actually be setting up a classroom?
I'm going to be setting up a classroom across the country once the country opens back up. I'm not sure how that's going to work in this climate, but once the country opens back up, I will be traveling all over the country and even abroad. Right now, it's going to be Zoom and YouTube. I'm figuring out the correct format now so I'm able to help a lot of people but not be bombarded by a lot of people at the same time. And once that format is known, it will be uploaded on my social media website.
All right. Now, speaking of social media, how can the people keep up with Aubrey Banks?
All right. So my Instagram is _ChasingBanks. My Facebook, of course, is Aubrey Banks. I don't have a Twitter. My email, phone number, all my contact information is in my bio on my Instagram. That's the best way to contact me. I read all of my messages, and I try to respond to all of them in a timely manner. Yeah, so that's the best way to contact me.
All right, Mr. Banks, I definitely appreciate your time. I'm going to go right now into my closet and grab all my joggers and all my dress shirts, and that's going to be my wardrobe for the next 7 days.
Listen to me. Put you on some gray joggers, put you on a white clean button down, and put on some fly shoes, whatever your flyest sneaker is. Make it look real casual like you didn't try. And even if you want to get a little jazzy, throw a hoodie on top of that. And I promise you're going to get compliments. It's the most effortless way to dress, and it looks good.
All right. Mr. Banks, it's been a blessing talking to you. Please have a happy holiday season and a safe return if you're not back. And hopefully we'll talk more.
Thank you. Same to here. Look forward to it, and thank you for the opportunity.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that was lifestyle engineer, Mr. Aubrey Banks. Y'all make sure y'all follow him on Instagram at _ChasingBanks. Again, that's Instagram at _ChasingBanks. All right, it's your boy Vic Excel, and this is the Ride and Dirty Show, where we bridge the gap between hip-hop and everyday life. We'll see y'all next time around. Peace.